Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits, so why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us. Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the top things every successful trader learns before they're profitable. We've seen, Jordan and I have seen in the successful traders we know, some common threads of lessons that they've had to learn before they're profitable. And hopefully when we talk over the top things, that every successful trader knows, the lessons they've learned, hopefully that'll enable you to take some shortcuts in your trading journey and be able to maybe one or two of these things you can go, oh, you know what, I need to work on that, and maybe enable you to make some more progress than you normally would. Find some holes in your learning and be able to help you be successful earlier. Jordan, how you doing?
Doing well. And yeah, I mean, when you try to distill down, things you need to do, it's like, okay, which of the 30 things do we want to pick to highlight? And so it leaves you a lot of options to choose from, right? But right off
Mm,
the bat, and I guess I've got to start with this because I experienced it today, is you're going to lose money, right? Today was just an
mhm.
absolutely abysmal day of trading on my end. And the fact is, it's honestly something that I historically have been bad at, and I'm still bad at, is losing money. Like, it only takes a few bad trades in a row for me to start spiraling into a negative psychological space where I start just going into crazy man mode. And yeah, it's not a good place to be. So, we've mentioned it before. One of the things you need to know when you're going to be trading, and that I keep reminding myself of, and that I want to make sure people know, is listen, you are going to lose money. There's no way about it, which is why we recommend you using prop firms and various things. Don't put $10,000 of your own money into account and just trade it, because you're going to lose all of it, right? Like, it's not how you should start trading. So when you start trading, make sure that you know that you are going to lose money. It's part of the process. And as you've mentioned a few times, just make sure that even if you're losing money, as long as you're learning, it's okay. It's not wasted money, because you're learning a skill, you're learning how you're going as you lose. But yeah, don't let those losing days get you down. I'm speaking to myself today, especially.
It's a unique thing, isn't it? A unique career, because there's very few other careers where every day you work and you have the possibility of actually being poorer at the end of the day than you were at the beginning.
Yeah,
So
I mean, both of us come
there's
from a corporate background, right?
yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
and
You
so
go you go at
you go
your
to work and
engineering
you make
job, your
you,
sales job.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're making
yeah,
money. You come home from the day. You never come home poorer at the end of the day from any job you're working. You're making a paycheck, you're getting paid.
right.
You went, and it may be stressful, but at the end of the day, okay, maybe if you're a business owner, but if you're working for another company, you're never coming home poorer at the end of the day.
Right. And yeah, so it's a it but you know what? It's a superpower to learn. Once you learn that um once you learn that the ability to take those, it's a calculated risk, not a uh haphazard risk. But once you learn to be able to take that risk, manage your risk, but still be able to go, you know what, it's okay if I lose money today, because we're not we've said this a million times before, we're not in this for the long run. We're in this for the I mean, we're not in this for the short term, we're in this for the long run.
I would tell that
um
Levi still hasn't drank all his
yeah,
coffee
yeah,
this morning.
yeah. I literally am holding my coffee right as we speak. It's early for me. But yeah, it's a superpower to learn. that you can apply to a lot of things, and that's actually a very common thing with learning to trade. There's a common thread in a few of these lessons that we're going to talk about, um, that they apply to your regular life really, really well. And this is one of them: being able to take those risks, um, knowing that, hey, we're in this for the long run. This applies to a lot of things, whether that's starting a business, whether that's taking a risk, in a relationship, whether that, like, being able to go, hey, whether or not this one works, whether or not me buying this real estate property that I dabble in works. I know that in the long run, if I do enough of these, it will work. And so that's a big superpower to learn, and that's something all day traders need to learn. The second one that I was going to mention real quick is that there's no magic bullet. This is a stage that every day trader goes through, and the vast majority never get through this stage. And they fail before they get through this stage. The stage of searching for the magic strategy, the magic indicator, um, the magic, whatever it is, trend line, Fibonacci. Every trader goes through, they're losing money. And so they switch their strategy. They try to find a better one. They're online following every new strategy that comes along because they're losing money and they think that it's because of their strategy. We've talked about that before, but it's just not true. It's obviously not true, but it's a stage that the vast majority of people never get through. Hey everyone, Levi here to quickly ask if you're finding value in the podcast. We would love it if you'd take a moment to follow the show and leave a review. It helps us out a lot and enables us to bring you the best possible content. Thanks for being part of the community. We love you guys.
It's not just people looking for a quick win, right? Like it's everyone. Like you're going to be looking for your new edge and your new this and that. And so
Yeah.
even people who are patient and know it's going to take a while, you're still looking for that thing. Like what's going to make me, what's going to make me trade better? And yeah, sometimes the answer is absolutely, absolutely nothing. Kind of a side note, like you were mentioning, no magic indicator. I was talking to you last week, right? Like I actually, as a spoof, made an astrological moving average indicator that uses various, taking your birthday and your month and everything, and it makes essentially a Pine script on TradingView. You tweak those settings. My back testing had an 80% increase over the course of the year I back tested it on. And this is literally something I pulled out of thin air, just showing that you can literally make anything look good in a back test.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to find some way to maybe share that with people
I
if
wish
they're
I
interested,
gotta figure out.
just to prove, like,
Yeah, I mean, we could email, or we could actually I could actually post the code or the link to the Pine script code in the podcast or something. But we should do that.
yeah, that kind of goes back to our whole indicator podcast. You guys can look that up if you're interested. But yeah, you can essentially fake any back testing you're looking for. And social media doesn't help with this when you're talking about the magic indicators of strategies, because you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, if you have any interest in day trading, all you're inundated with is people, bragging about their wins and, oh, I got 20 wins in a row using this strategy. And so it's so hard to block out the noise and recognize that there is no magic strategy. And here's the good news: if you get that, you're ahead of 80% of people. I promise you, because the vast majority of traders never realize that. They'll never understand that. And the second you truly understand that you are responsible for getting better, you're ahead of 80% of people. It's huge.
Yeah, yeah, totally agreed. And I would say another thing, of course, would be discipline, right? You've got to be disciplined
Mm.
in order to be a trader. And that's disciplined in all the areas, right? Disciplined so that when you are losing money, you stop before you lose an extra percent than you should have, right? Talking to myself, disciplined when it comes to learning your strategy and not constantly just sucking up the latest fad that you see on Instagram or a Discord server, right? So disciplined on whatever it may be. Discipline is so important in daily, like your entire life is, it's important whether it comes to eating or exercise and trading. So it all comes to fact. The fact is, if you're not a disciplined person in general, you're going to find it very hard to be disciplined in trading. But the other opposite is true. If you
Mm,
can be disciplined in trading, you're showing yourself you can also have all these things when it comes to, exercising or eating
dude,
healthier or whatever else you're doing in your life, right?
I'd mentioned earlier that like some of these lessons apply to regular life. This was a huge one that I noticed. Like as I got better day trading, I noticed it applied to other stuff. Like
Yeah.
as you get disciplined, it's crazy. You don't realize what a greedy son of a gun you are until you start trading.
Yep.
And and then you realize, holy crap, I'm so greedy, right? Like I'm so undisciplined. I'm so fearful.
Yeah.
I'm so like you start recognizing it lays it all bare, right? You don't
Yeah.
realize how undisciplined you are until you're just like, oh, I just have some rules. Oh, I just have to follow the like that sounds so easy. I just have
Yeah.
to follow my rules. That's not hard. And
Yeah.
everybody looking from the outside doesn't understand. They just don't understand.
No.
Your friends, your family, you talk about, oh, discipline. Yeah, it's so important not to break your
Yeah.
rules, not to take trades when you know not to.
How hard is it to follow your rules?
Yeah, yeah. And they'll all say that. They're like, well, I mean, just don't like it sounds easy. And it's just not. And you recognize what how weak you
Or
are.
maybe you and I are just really undisciplined.
Well, yes, we are, but we are the 95%. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we're most people.
Yeah.
Maybe some people
Yeah.
are gods when it comes to discipline, and they're amazing
Sure.
and good for
Yeah.
them. But man, it shows you how weak you are. But the great thing is the lessons you apply to trading that you learn in trading apply to regular life. And I noticed
Yeah.
it again, I noticed it a huge way in my life as the
Yeah.
discipline was learned. It started making some differences in my regular life. And you start seeing some ways to actually address regular life. So you have a bad
Yeah.
habit in normal life.
Yep.
Well, do you journal it? Like, do you like write notes to yourself on, well, hey, I had a successful day today. I went to the gym even when I didn't want to, or oh, I didn't go to the gym even though I knew I should. Here's why. Maybe I had some wrong thinking, and like you start being able to apply the same rules like journaling and psychology and discipline to your regular life, and that was really really helpful for me.